record button. Uh, Hopefully it's going to show up where I can access it because it didn't give me a choice. All right. So this is Cindy, and it's May 1st, and there are tears in my eyes. I am about to invite you all into an experience I've been having. And this particular one, it began on Monday as I spent a minute or more with these words I read in the Intro to Sufism course. The fish in the sea is not thirsty. Everything we need can be found within us when we feel our personal I am connected to the universal I am. The fish in the sea is not thirsty. All of the work that we do here in the sanctuary that we talk about, it reminds us always that we've never left our source and that our source is divine love, its peace, its openness, its infinite potential. And yet, over and over and over again, we find ourselves searching for whatever it is that's missing, as if what we believe ourselves to be is limited. And the truth of the matter is what we are can no more be limited than a fish can be thirsty. Rumi writes, I have a thirsty fish in me that can never find enough of what it's thirsty for. I have a thirsty fish in me that can never find enough of what it's thirsty for. Show me the way to the ocean. Break these half measures, these small containers. All this fantasy and grief. Let my house be drowned in the wave that rose last night in the center of my chest. So if you're here with me, I'm going to read those words again. And I recommend that you let them touch you. Not your thinking mind, but you. It's the thinking mind that's thirsty, yeah? I have a thirsty fish in me that can never find enough of what it's thirsty for. Show me the way to the ocean. Break these half measures, these small containers. All this fantasy and grief. Let my house be drowned in the wave that rose last night in the center of my chest. Inner wisdom, there are more words in this poem that is said to come from the house of Rumi. I sense instead to remain in this space, this yearning for the house of Cindy to be drowned in the wave of divine love. So if you're here with me now, these words, do you too wish, or is there a yearning to let go of the fish that will never find what it's looking for, and instead let your house be drowned in the wave that rose last night in the center of the chest? My prayer continues. Take me, please. Let me know I am yours. Let me know that I am not separate from that which created me, And then a yearning comes from a belief of something that can't be. Question, what do you want? What do we all want that we don't already have? This morning I sat, I went into a diet and I sat with these words and I looked upon the page and the thought came, eyes look upon a blank page. And right away, as I was writing these, I knew something was off. Eyes? The eyes? Eyes do not look, they are but an aspect of the concept labeled body. Eyes do not look, eyes do not see, right? How often do we sit here in this belief that our eyes see, our eyes look? What are our eyes? They are but an aspect of the concept labeled body. As I sit even now, with this recognition that the body is pulsing. If you sink into the sense of identifying with the body, what are the body's sensations, This body feels pressure, pulsing. It is as if it wants to pull away from being looked at. What is looking at it? Feel it contracting even now, the sense of body pulsing pressure. Be like a salt doll in the sea of consciousness, Ramana Maharshi tells us. Surrender the thirsty fish. Watch it drown. So here I'm hearing these words in my head. Surrender the thirsty fish. Watch it drown. From where do these words come? Who or what are they for? Body pulses and shake. There's a sense of energy it can't contain flowing through it. There's a pressure and a chill. Surrender the thirsty fish. Be like a salt doll in the sea of consciousness. Let all that you think you were drown in divine love. Where does that invitation come from? What's resisting it? I hear the words, shh. It's okay. You are safe. I am here. You can let go. Life is easy here. Life is easy now. God has taken the wheel. There is an experience here and now, putting words to what is undoing words. Allow awareness of physical sensations to continue. Recognize that it's okay. No matter what the experience is, you are safe. I am here. You can let go. Life is easy here. Life is easy now. God has taken the wheel. Where? Where is this knowing coming from? Who or what is it for? Allow the physical sensations to continue. Sink into what is aware of them. I don't get tired of you. Don't grow weary being compassionate towards me. All this thirst equipment must surely be tired of me. The water jar, the water carrier. I have a thirsty fish in me that can never find enough of what it's thirsty for. Show me the way to the ocean. Break these half measures, these small containers. All this fantasy and grief. Let my house be drowned in the wave that rose last night in the courtyard, hidden in the center of my chest. Joseph fell like the moon in my well. The harvest I expected was washed away, but no matter. A fire has risen above my tombstone hat. I don't want learning or dignity or respectability. I want this music and this dawn and the warmth of your cheek against mine. The grief armies assemble, but I'm not going with them. This is how it always is when I finish a poem. Great silence comes over me, and I wonder why I ever thought to use language. Those were, this thinking mind tells me, words written by a Sufi poet many, many, many years ago, Rumi. But let's break the house down. Yeah, break the house down. And then there is only divine, supreme consciousness. There is only love. Question comes again, are you willing to know yourself as that? Or do you want to know yourself as that? I'm going to read these words again in a moment, but a couple of things first. This idea of being a water jar, water carrier, just picture your body as an artificial structure that supposedly holds God, right? But holds God in such a way that it continually tells you you're separate from the divine. It just carries the divine. And the divine it carries is the same as the divine that is carried in every other water jar and every other object that these eyes allow the inner divine to see. Sort of dilutes and distracts. held within this water jar, right, is a program system of belief that has something. The energy of what I am is not what I see. And that's what creates the thirst. But it's a thirst that can never be quenched because there is no one here separate from what it sees. It is no different than being in the desert and looking out in front of you and seeing an ocean. And you allow that fear to arise, right? Because I don't want to be swallowed up by that ocean. This belief that there's something inside here that needs something out there is no more real than the ocean on a desert road. Accept that. This pointing to Joseph, for me, I go to Joseph and Mary. It's an odd thing. I don't know if it's true or not, but this idea that Joseph as Jesus's human father, right? It's not true either. He held space. He came and went so quickly in the Bible readings. This beautiful man who held the water jar, the container that was pure, that held God, and went on to let other containers know, hey, look at me. This is who you are. Joseph fell like the moon into the well, right? He held a container lightly. And then this beautiful tombstone hat, this invitation to die daily. But what are we dying to? Just this belief that somehow we're small or limited or rejected by God and have to earn our way back. How can any of that be true? So there's this invitation to breathe into this present moment and really just kind of settle in. Allow whatever the body is telling you is this moment's issue. Like, man, I feel old, tired. This body will tell you that seeing things that needs to be changed or hearing things it would rather not hear or what? Just sink into this whole sense of a separate being. Wondering if you're willing. You desire. Are you ready to surrender the thirsty fish? You don't have to feed it, by the way. Remember, there's no such thing. But are you? Is there a place in your heart, in your sense, even as the body is filling you with all these sensory perceptions and beliefs and experiences? Are you willing to let it be? I don't get tired of you. Feel myself, something larger than this body sensation, holding all these sensations, these feelings, these experiences. There are beings that I've spoken to just today that have this thing hurt or that thing achy or whatever is going on, right? Um, Allowing it to just be there. I don't get tired of you. Don't weary of being compassionate towards me. All this thirst equipment must surely be tired of me, the water jar, the water carrier. I have a thirsty fish in me that can never find enough of what it's thirsty for. Show me, show me the way to the ocean. Break these half measures, these small containers, all this fantasy and grief. Let my house be drowned in the wave that rose last night in the courtyard, hidden in the center of my chest. Every time I sink into those words, I wonder what is here that doesn't want that. What is cherished more than God in this moment? What is it you still want to taste that you somehow think you will lose if you let go and let God in this moment? Joseph held like the moon in my well. The harvest I expected was washed away, but no matter. The world we see, like, what difference does it make what happens here? A fire has risen above my tombstone hat. I don't want learning or dignity or respectability. What is it exactly you want to prove in this world of a me and not me right now that holds you in place in an illusionary world, a world no more real than the ocean that hinders your way on that desert road? Let it come up. Look at it honestly. Be with it. What do you think you need to understand here before you let God in? What do you have to prove or justify or defend? What has to be fixed or taken care of before you drop your nets? Fire has risen above my tombstone hat. I don't want learning or dignity or respectability. I want this music and this dawn and the warmth of your cheek against mine. The grief armies assemble, but I'm not going with them. Thoughts, yeah? Stories and thoughts. They can come. This is how it always is when I finish a poem. Great silence comes over me, and I wonder why I ever thought to use language over and over and over again. The lessons that are coming to me remind me to sink into direct experience. And there's no argument, direct experience is here. It's always here. It's always now. Just be with what is here and what is now. I love us.